Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let me just have a quick recap. What was the 3 C's we talked about last week? Anyone remember it under interpretations? What's the 3 C's again? Unmute your mic. Yeah. The first C is
context, the
yeah.
keywords.
Yeah, see the keywords, context, and then what else?
Correlation.
Correlations. Yay. Awesome. Very good. All right. So let us just go over what we're going to talk about today. Now, last week, we have talked about the correlations. Okay. And then we talked about, okay, hold on one second. Let me just share my screen here. Okay. So we have talked about correlations. Okay. See, we try to look up the keywords from the Inductive Bible Study app, which is your homework last week. You have to find the keywords, which is I have demonstrated in the Inductive Bible Study app. Later, I'm going to show you again because some of you have challenged to find, how to find out the keywords, okay? And then we'll go over, we have gone through how to look up the context. We have visited one website called Insight for Living. That's where we look up the context, the biblical context, and the historical context. And then we have spent a little bit of time talking about correlations. And today I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about correlations because this is a huge part of interpretations. And last week we have talked briefly how we look up different translations. But we didn't quite talk, in depth in the cross-referencing. How can we use cross-referencing as a way to, as a part of correlations with scriptures, interpret scripture? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, this is what we talked about last week. This is the app we have all downloaded, right? We all downloaded this app. How many of you have been using already on your daily basis? Excellent. Very good. How many of you love this app now? Fall in love with this app? Raise your hand. Yay. Awesome. Everyone almost. Great. And this is such a super powerful app. If you don't want to go too in depth to go through 10 commentaries to find out the answer, this is super easy to use. So this is the app we should all download it, especially for our assignment last week. If you have not downloaded this app, you won't be able to know how to do our assignment last week. Okay. So this is the app that you need to pay attention to. And this is the website we talked about last week, about the background, Bible chart, quick overview of the book. So right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to spend some time. So this is the website that we talked about, which is looking up the background. Okay. And the last part of last week, we talked about correlations. I've shown you 2 websites. One is Blue Letter Bible.org, and the other one is Bible Study Tools. So blueletterbible.org is a powerful tool. If you don't want to pay for the Logos, this is where you will find a lot of cross-referencing, interlinear. You can compare the passages. And today we're going to look into this again, because I think last time maybe we have gone through too fast. Especially today we're going to talk about scripture, interpret scripture. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we go back to the same verse, and I have highlighted certain keywords for you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to Blue Letter Bible, and how can we study this particular word, okay, or words, okay, using cross-referencing. So we'll be cross-referencing. Anyone know what cross-referencing is about? Anyone? Maybe Mrs. Zhang? Ross, what is cross-referencing?
Cross-referencing would be using different parts of the Bible to give us insight into the context and what a passage would be actually saying. So it'll be connecting different words to different passages in the Bible, kind of all throughout it, or different themes from the verses.
Yes, thank you. Excellent. That's a great explanation. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at particularly these 2 words, okay, these 2 words, and we're going to find out what are the related verses, okay, cross-referencing verses for these 2 particular words. And you will then find out, wow, this is such a powerful tool, because you'll be able to gain even deeper insight than just doing a word study, because you will be able to see how this word being applied or explained in other parts of the passages in the Bible. So you will know that, scripture interprets scripture, okay? And you'll be amazed, like, wow, how we can gain more insight just by looking at different cross-referencings based on that word. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, if you can pull up your website, but if not, it's okay. You can just look at what I have here. Okay, so this is the Blue Letter Bible. Remember, I have shown you last time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type in this verse that we're going to study. Okay, Ephesians 2:10 again. So the two words that I highlighted, which is created and good. So we're going to look at how the rest of the Bible talk about these two words. Where also, where in the Bible these two words also appeared in where. Okay, so we're going to look it up together. Okay, and then so let's type it in. So we put Ephesians 2:10. All right, so what we're going to do now is we go to tools. Okay, and then we'll go under cross-referencing. Okay, so right away you see the screen here. What are some of the words being highlighted? Can you tell me? It gave you the answer. You see these words being highlighted? We are created, good, which, ordained, walk. Okay, so these are the key words already highlighted for you. Okay, so so remember the two words I want to study to look deeper, cross-referencing. So let's try the created first. Okay, we'll go to created. Okay, when I click created, okay, you will see a bunch of verses here. Okay, this is where the word created also being used in other places in the Bible. Okay, so right now let's spend some time. Okay, everybody will spend a few minutes looking at these few different verses. Okay, and tell me what you have learned just based on cross-referencing how this word is being used in other places, how, that you can gain more insight. Okay, let's just spend a few minutes just looking at these verses, and then you tell me what are some of the insight that you get from this word created, how you can understand it better, okay, by just looking at these verses. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to look at these verses. Okay, all right. So based on these few verses, what have you learned from the word created? What are some new insight that you've learned from this word created? Anyone would like to share based on these verses? What did you see?
Maybe I can share.
Yes, Christine, yes.
This word created is actually a creation of a new cell,
Yeah.
which also means translate into having a clean heart. And the old things should go away or pass away, and the new has already here, and I am a new creation, who is made by the God, the God who created me.
Very good. Okay, anyone? Thank you, Christine. Anyone have seen anything else based on these verses? What did you see about this word created? What else do you see?
As for my understanding, it's creating something that was not there, which was not existed yet.
Like before.
Yes, so something very new.
Very good. Thank you. Now, based on these verses, we know this word created, right? I think just like everybody have shared just now, is created and renew a clean heart. Okay, it's something that is new, brand new. It's a new creation. Okay, and it's a righteousness and holiness of the truth in us, and a steadfast spirit and a clean heart. As a new creature, okay, we're a new creature and new creation. And a new self that is renewed with true knowledge according to the image of the one who created him. Okay, so based on these verses, okay, you'll be able to understand the word created in a deeper level. Okay, what the created means. Instead of you guessing what it is, I guess what it is. You know what it is. It says in the scriptures. It appeared in a few places where it described this word created. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Let's go to, how about good? Okay. The other word I want you to pay attention to is good. Okay, so this is good. Okay, so it's just right below. So if you go back to the verse again, let's say we go back to this place, you can also click here. Okay, the keywords good, and then it will show you the referencing here. Okay, good. Okay, so spend a few minutes looking at this again. What does it tell you about good? All right, there's so many verses, right? Just this word good. Wow, you can spend 5 days to study this, okay? So many words, so many verses that refer to define what is good. Now, what are the overarching theme that you see when it talks about good? Anyone? Mine, do you see anything?
Oh yeah. More on good deeds. And then there is kindness. So
good deeds and kindness.
yeah. Good work.
Yes, very good. That the overarching theme is good work, kindness, and also mentioned something about bearing fruits in every good work and increasing knowledge of God. I mean, along the same line, and every good work, godliness. So when it talks about good is also like a woman would devote herself to every good work. So you can see the overarching theme to be generous and to ready to share. You can also see that so that the man of God may be adequate equipped for every good work. So equipping for good work. Example, good deeds, purity in doctrine and dignify, right? And then so purify for himself, people for his own possession, zealous for good deeds. So you can see the overarching theme of good is mostly about good works. But I strongly encourage, the reason I'm showing you this because later on, I hope all of us can also do word study. Okay, this is very profitable for us to dig deeper in studying any words. Besides looking up the original meaning of the words, which I've shown you in last class, which is under the Bible study methods, you can also look it up here in Interlinear. But the point is, when you see the cross-referencings of different verses, for the same word, you gain better insight of what does it really mean. The rest of the scripture, what they talk about good, what they talk about created. Okay, so I hope this is valuable tools for you, because when you want to dig deeper, instead of guessing what the word means, you can also look at different scriptures to find the cross-referencing, how this word is being used in other places. And this is a very crucial skills for us to study the Bible. Okay, so don't worry if you're like, oh, I'm so lost, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, don't worry. I will show you again. This is not the last time I'm showing you. Okay, I just want to show it to you so that you have an idea, a framework of what correlation is about, because the whole Bible is not individual literatures. Okay, everything is related. That's what we call correlations. Okay, that you can cross-referencing to other places. So this is a very important skill for us to learn. So don't worry if you're like totally lost right now. Don't worry, we will have hope. Okay, this is not the last time I'm showing you this. Okay, so I just want to quickly show you this so you can have a mindset. Oh, okay, so correlation is about cross-referencing to other part of the scriptures. Okay, besides what I showed you last time about different translations, right? That was part of correlations, where we look up different translations to gain better insight. So this is what I'm showing you right now. The second part of it is to cross-referencing scriptures, interpret scripture. Okay, so